So, during the past few days, I've been doing my research and I've been absolutely fascinated with these illusion filled, dark, sinister, and mysterious incidents that have happened back near the 1930s. As we are 200 years away from this era, with censorship and different types of crimes, I want to revisit the story of a man whose faces ultimate fate because of his actions and the lack of thought behind it. Mirsal, a normal French citizen with friends and a lover, had soon let his life go on a downslope as he murdered someone out in cold blood. He lived in jail for some time until he was sentenced to death penalty. Today we have the prosecutor who actually proved Mirsal guilty and had suggested the penalty. The prosecutor is one of the few lucky ones to have his brain's consciousness stored in the government's database, as he was a major contributor in bringing justice to society by putting only criminals in jail. With today's technology, we have brought him here today and reconstructed his body with computer graphics. Let's give a round of big applause. How are you doing, monsieur?
I'm fine, I guess. It's my first time being spun back up after I heard about that brain conservation project.
Well, that's great to know. In our podcast, we just want to ask a few questions to know how it all went down back then.
Alright, sounds fair.
Okay, so first off, we want to know, why did Mirsal not show any emotion towards his mother's death?
Well, to be fair, I didn't know him at all. I never interacted with him in my life until I saw him in court. But it astonished me, as it was my first time knowing someone didn't care about my mother's death. I feel like his nihilistic views was one cause. For the people that don't know, nihilism is a rejection of religious and mainly moral beliefs, and looking at life at its aspects to a meaningless manner. Mursal clearly disregarded life and death, and just lived by the flow. To not react appropriately to your mom's death is very concerning.
And to consider, it is very careless of someone to do such things, to not show any love, even though one could be introverted. It just shows that Mirsal didn't care about much.
Certainly, and whatever he did to himself.
Yeah, about that, I wanted to ask, why would someone like Mirsal, who is hardworking, has friends and a lover, would murder someone in cold blood?
Whatever that was going on in Mirsal's brain during the murder, it was messed up. I actually heard him say the son made him do the murder. I swear the whole courtroom laughed for a minute straight. Like, seriously? To scapegoat his sin on something we cannot control? He was definitely out of his mind from day one. He could seem, in quotes, normal, but he is a killer. And he certainly didn't do it in self-defense. He even shot the guy 4 more times after a pause. If that doesn't say anything, he clearly would murder someone for his pleasure.
To be fair, he might have his reasons. He might be suffering from a heat stroke, or maybe his mind was in imbalance. Maybe his nihilistic views blinded him from the value of life, which made him kill that person with ease.
Yeah, I could get behind that. It makes sense for a criminal to do anything with no care for his world and everybody's world.
Yeah, definitely. All right, we're going to take a quick break and we'll get back to you just in a few minutes. Okay, we're back from the break. And Monsieur, I just want to ask you some questions circle around you.
Go at it.
So, what crossed your mind giving Mirsal the death penalty?
Well, back then, the death penalty was considered lawful and normal. We used the guillotine, which made it quick and painless for the criminal. I suggested capital punishment for Mirsal because there's evidence that he is unstable and capable of murdering someone without a heart. I had proven that it was premeditated, how he wrote a letter to piss off his friend's girl, which then pissed off her family, which led to a fight at a beach, and then Mirsal murdering one of them. Clearly, he is absurd in his behaviors, and his carelessness in planning a murder got him to his fate.
And to add on, why would you call out watching a comedy movie, meeting the love of his life, as evidence towards his alleged premeditated murder?
Ah, yes, certainly. You see, how can someone go to the beach, meet up with a girl, and have license with her, go watch a comedy movie, and sleep peacefully without grieving his mother's death? Something didn't add up here. And then just days after, he murders someone. How's that even happen coincidentally? And with all the evidence from witnesses, also concludes why it was premeditated. The workers at the mortuary had given me, the jury, and the judges enough evidence that Mirasol didn't care for his mother or the world. Heck, even his friends couldn't give evidence on why he's innocent. All they could say was he's hardworking, loyal, and a good man. That doesn't account for anything.
I get what you mean. Murder is definitely out of the line and should be judged very harshly. But as I've done my research, I might beg to differ. There have been accounts where Mirza and his friend Raymond have described the gun to be as self-defense. The people they fought were armed with the dagger as well. Maybe Mirza killed the victim in self-defense.
Yep, it is true that the Arabian people had a possession of a dagger, but it is different. When Mirza was being investigated, the examining magistrate had asked him about it. He killed the Arabian man in a secluded area where he was lying down calmly. Even the crime scene clearly shows it was away from the population, showing that Mirza killed him there so no one would know at the time, while making a statement to society that he does not care.
As you can see, there's solid proof that people can do anything for clout, for fame, a statement, or even for their own pleasure. We should address this issue and bring justice to people who have exploited their privileges and their mindsets to hurt other people. Well, Monsieur, it was a pleasure talking to you. It was absolutely inspiring how you bring people to justice.
Thank you so much, Sci-Fi. Au revoir.
Well, lads and gals, this has been Sci-Fi Podcast. Thanks for tuning in and peace out.